Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to News Dose, and I do understand that a lot of fans last week were let down by the PlayStation State of Play. It just didn't deliver what fans wanted. But the one great surprise was Astrobot. The first two games were already amazing. It was really great to see this surprise game at their showcase, and from that initial trailer, it looks extremely good. But there have been some questions that's come along with that. Just exactly how big is this game, and how much is it going to cost? Well, Team Asobi gave us some new information, and let me just go and tell you this right away. This game, honestly, sounds incredible. I'm very confident that this will be one of the best games of 2024, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if it won some awards, or, it could even be a surprise Game of the Year candidate. That's my prediction right now, so you can go and quote me on that if I'm wrong. I'll gladly take the L, but I am confident in Team Asobi that they'll make another great game, and even more so after this new information. So we're going to get into all of that in just a moment, and then we will also talk about a new Xbox game that was previously a PlayStation exclusive. So do stay tuned for all of that, plus some Sega news as well. But let's just go and get right into this Astrobot story. So first things first, and I've actually been wondering about this myself, why did they simply go with the name Astrobot instead of something a little bit more unique that separates it from the previous entries? And their logic here is actually quite interesting. They said that they just want to name it Astrobot because they're treating it as a new beginning. And what that kind of tells me is that they have aspirations to really build Astro into a long-running PlayStation franchise. And quite honestly, I truly think that it has the potential to do exactly that. Astro has everything that it needs to be a long-running mascot for PlayStation, and they could easily showcase its adorable design on any kind of promo that they want to put out there. If they have a PlayStation Cell as one such example, they could easily throw Astrobot on their marketing material and let it act as PlayStation's mascot because it's got that great, just charming appeal to it. Even more so here is that Astro is one of the few PlayStation games that's great for the entire family. This could be PlayStation's Mario to a degree, and I think that's something that PlayStation really needs right now. I've talked about this before, but I don't think that PlayStation and Xbox does near enough to build that younger audience to go along with them for decades to come. I mean, if you think about it this way, a lot of the people that play on PlayStation consoles today, they started on PlayStation back in the 90s or early 2000s, but now we have this new generation, and Astrobot can kind of be that mascot for this younger up-and-coming audience. This is a series that has a lot of potential regardless of age group. It's got that nostalgia for us longtime fans, but it also has that appeal to the younger audience as well. I know that firsthand because I have kids, and Astro's Playroom is one of the go-to games for them to play. So I love that Sony is investing in a game like this, but there still has been that one question about its cost. Obviously, Astro's Playroom came with every PlayStation 5 for free, which I think was actually a very smart move in hindsight. That really brought a lot of awareness to this lovable franchise that was previously a PlayStation VR exclusive. And now Team Asobi can truly go all out with a bigger budget, traditional PlayStation 5 game, and that's exactly what they're doing. They confirmed it won't be free to play because it is a much bigger game this time around. They mentioned that it has more than 4 times as many worlds as Astro's Playroom, it has 300 bots to rescue, and it has dozens of powers and features to discover. So this is a full-fledged adventure, and just hearing that information alone, it sounds like that this could be at least 12 hours long, if not even longer than that. If you look at the statistics for Astro's Playroom, on average, it took most players 3 hours to complete the main story of that game, with 5 hours for completionists. So if we take that information, it sounds like we're probably looking at around 12 to 20 hours for Astrobot. And to me, I think that sounds incredible for a game like this that strictly focuses on gameplay. That is one thing that you have to remember when it comes to this topic. This isn't something like God of War and Spider-Man where a large portion of the game is actually cutscenes. This is a gameplay first game, and also they confirmed that it's not going to have microtransactions either. So you're going to get what you buy, which, I mean, for a lot of other games, we can't really say that in the modern era of gaming. Now, we don't know the final price, however. I'll update you as soon as we find out, which should actually happen in the next few days once those pre-orders go live. But truthfully, I think this game sounds more incredible every time we hear about it. So I'm very confident, to say the least, and I hope it does well for Sony. That way we can secure a long-time future for, in my opinion, one of Sony's best up-and-rising franchises. To me, I'm actually more excited about Astro than I am for, let's say, Spider-Man 3, Wolverine, or whatever else Sony is working on. Team Asobi, to me, is a special studio, and their passion really bleeds into their games. So I'm truly, truly excited for Astro. But let me know what you all think about all this. Are you excited about this game as well? Let me hear it in the comments below. Now, for you Xbox fans out there, I actually come bearing good news for you as well, because we got an update for Kena Bridge of Spirits. This game originally launched as a PlayStation exclusive a few years back, and it's still a game that personally stands out to me. I mean, the animations in this game are top-notch. They really look Pixar-esque, beautiful, especially for an independent studio such as this. And I think the gameplay is also solid as well. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Zelda to a degree. Not exactly, but there does seem to be some Zelda inspirations. So it's just a good, solid game all around, and now you Xbox fans can enjoy it as well starting August 15th. Yes, they confirmed a release date, and on top of that, it will get a physical version day and date. The original PlayStation release actually staggered a physical version after the digital release. I'm not a big fan of when games do that, so I think it's great news. They're not doing the same thing this time around. Either which way, for those that haven't played this game already, I actually would recommend Kena Bridge of Spirits. I do think it's a good game, so despite its long wait, I mean, I do understand that's frustrating for you Xbox fans, but do keep this game on your radar. I do think it's worth the wait. Now, one last thing that I want to talk about here, though, is the future for Sega and their mission to revive various dormant IP. This is according to the prominent leaker Midori. She does have a good track record, but as I always like to say, nothing is confirmed until it's confirmed. So you can kind of take this news as you will, but according to her, she said that I want to make sure there is no confusion with what I am saying before. It is correct information that Sega is developing full remakes of Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio in Unreal Engine 5 with most of the original staff. These titles would release before the games as a service reboots. So this is actually great news. According to her, we're not just simply getting those revivals that are meant to be live service games, which truthfully, that part might be a little bit deflating depending on how they actually handle it, but even so, we will get some remakes as well, and she confirmed those won't be live service games. The way she's describing them, they're more identical to the originals with some improvements like online multiplayer for Crazy Taxi as one such example. So to me, I actually think that is very exciting news, but she did note that it might be a while before we get to play them ourselves. She continued on and said that Jet Set Radio Remake was supposed to release in January 2026 and reboot in November 2026, and Crazy Taxi Remake and reboot in 2027. But this probably changed with Super Game Delay because these titles are marketed to older fans who might not want to play reboot titles. So she doesn't seem to know the exact release plans, but based on what she said here, it does kind of sound like we might need to remain patient. These games could still be years away, but I mean, hey, I'll say this much. If you're a fan of any of these old-time Sega games, just simply knowing that they're in development now, I think that is still very exciting to think about. I mean, for me personally, I'm going to use Banjo-Kazooie as an example because I'm a big fan of that franchise. And I'm pained every single year that Xbox doesn't confirm a new entry is in development. I mean, even a remake of the first two games, I would be thrilled by that news. But every single year, I am left disappointed. So, I mean, if they just simply came out with a logo and nothing else and said, hey, Banjo is in development, it's going to be a while, but it is in development, I'd at least be happy that there's something to look forward to. So all I'm trying to say for you Sega fans out there is be happy that you have something coming. I'm actually a little bit jealous, to be honest with you all, but you know, obviously, I do hope they turn out well. I do like this initiative by Sega, and I hope it pays off for both of them and you fans alike. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode, but as always, do hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace out.